Greetings and salutations. We are once again live. This time from, I'm going to move my chair a little bit here. This time from the Apocalypse Cabin. Thought it would be fun. I do a campfire here every night to invite some of my friends here to do a fireside chat. Now, I don't have really a plan. This is an unplanned experiment into Streamville. Not quite sure what we could talk about tonight, but I thought we could start with turning my attention to the live chat. We're going to do sort of an Ask Me Anything tonight, sort of laid back, no subject, no, wait a second here. Yeah, that's better. There we go. So I have a campfire here behind me going. This is my favorite place at the cabin. And even we got this, it's sort of a fire table. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's an end table that has fire in the middle of it that runs on propane. So Philip Blair says, I see fire. Yes. Well, we can't have a fireside chat without fire. So I'm feeling a little awkward. This is not very comfortable, but here we are. And honestly, I'm kind of amazed that the internet is working. It's been a little wonky. The internet service provider here did what they call a temporary installation, which basically means they just run cables through your windows and it's really hokey. But somebody in my absence, I've been gone from the cabin for a few days, painted some kind of lines, and I think they're coming here with an excavator or something to dig the lines into the ground. I don't know, but the internet has been kind of wonky, and yeah, put out the fire before it's too late. Now, no, this is where the Dark Alliance rituals all take place. We have to have the fire for that. And so, yeah, so this is the front of the cabin, and that is the front door to the cabin. There we go. You can see behind me this big honkin' door that I built for the cabin. And our fire pit is right in front of the cabin, which I cook on a great deal of times. And also, it's just nice to sit around that thing with some friends. We have a few neighbors that come pretty much every night. Not tonight, but okay. Thoughts about Rubio announcement today. The pyro table rocks. Yes, I've gotten, my phone was blowing up today with, I think that everybody's a little too excited about what Mark Rubio said, and here's why. There are a few possibilities with what these UAP, unexplained aerial phenomenon, are. They either are craft that belong to a foreign adversary. That's multiple choice 1. Multiple choice 2, which all the UFO people want, is that they are alien spacecraft. And option 3 is that they are our own secret projects being test flown and not being shared around with those in power, even someone like a senator. For those that don't know, there's something called SAP, Special Access Programs. And those, there's no oversight. It's black projects. There's no oversight. There's no congressional oversight. They basically spend trillions of dollars. It's a huge black hole. Nobody knows where the money goes. And these black projects kind of are done in secrecy, and nobody knows about them except those that have a need to know. They may, as Senator Mark Rubio is very bold in thinking that he's just going to get read into these programs because we have ample and supportive evidence that others in power, congressmen, senators, powerful men, generals, have tried to get read into these programs and find out what some of these secret programs are, and they were denied. They were told, you don't have a need to know. There's even various stories, and I don't know if I actually believe these stories, that even presidents have been denied access to certain top secret programs that were running. So I'm not quite sure why everybody's so excited just because Mr. Rubio thinks he's going to get access to find out what these things are doesn't mean he will. UAP are cruising around and we do not know who they are. Outright comment said we must get to the truth. Yeah, I heard what he said, but do I think that he's going to get to the truth? And more importantly, is he going to share it with the public? He may, he may be given some sort of access. In other words, if some of these things are what I think they are, and there is good evidence in the form of where some of these things have been cited. It's not a surprise to me that some of these things in these military, videos that have been released were filmed and observed near test facilities. I don't think that's a coincidence. And if anybody believes that just because, let's say this aircraft carrier, the Nimitz, is in the area, is a top secret program that's test flying, let's say, an exotic propulsion drone. Are they going to call the captain of that vessel if they're a top secret program that no one knows about and let him know? By the way, we're test flying a top secret exotic propulsion drone in the area. So if you see it, don't worry. It's just us with the Black Project or a stealth blimp or a, exotic propulsion drone that we're testing. You don't need to worry about it. No, they don't. They don't tell anybody. They don't tell anyone, including other people in the military, that they're testing these things. Okay, let's see. Hope you're doing well, honey. Yes, I hope so too. CG says it's us from the future. No, CG, people are getting his bullshittery confused. He said he was going to release that video. I don't know if he did. I don't care to watch it. I haven't kept up with him. But what he's saying, Corey Good is saying, is that the false narrative that will be a fake disclosure that's coming will be to say that these advanced aerial phenomenon being sighted in the sky or UFOs are us from the future, and that Roswell was us from the future. And friends, you can't trust anything that Mr. Good says. This narrative of his is simply a way to attack this baby Q, Austin Steinbart guy. I don't believe that he has any actual intelligence, either, military intelligence or actual, just does he have any intelligence? Probably not. uh, you can't listen to Corey Good and his stupid stories. Like, this is the same guy that talked to blue chicken aliens. Now he's saying some other nonsense. Like, we're going to. He's been getting briefings. He doesn't get briefings. He talks about knowing generals and colonels. Friends, ask yourself this: do you know anybody in the military? Everybody that I know in the military is sort of no nonsense, pretty serious kind of people. They're not going to just suddenly start talking to Corey Good, some guy that claims to have talked to aliens. Just military people would not talk to Corey Good. And if somebody did have real information that they wanted to share with the world, it's this old argument. Like, are they going to go? Is somebody going to go and talk to, let's say, Corey Good or Linda Moulton Howe? Right? Or are they going to go to a credible journalist that actually, like a Larry King or somebody, I don't know, Anderson Cooper? You're not going to go to a nut job UFO crackpot to do your disclosure kind of stuff. It just doesn't make any sense that these idiots claim that they're talking to whoever they think they're talking to. Do I think that Corey Good has any kind of briefings? Yeah, he has briefings in his imagination. That's what he has, friends. And you'll pardon me, I'm looking around here for a lost lighter. Isn't it the thing? Like, I'm like, I know it was here. I started the fire with it, and then I don't know what happened to it. I really think that there's a black hole somewhere that takes everything you lose, and maybe someday you get all that shit that you lost back. Every lost sock, every lost key, every lost phone, wallet, lighter, you know? Yeah, it is gone. So, we're going to have, like I said, a Ask Me Anything. Okay, there's a Super V Fun Cat. Now it's Corey, Uri Geller, Annie Jacobson, Grant Cameron, and more, all expecting a major UFO or alien disclosure soon. Yeah, and if you remember, Super V Fun Cat, history repeats itself. Wasn't it just last year that we were waiting? What about when TTSA made that first major announcement? Everybody said, oh, they've got the goods, disclosure's coming any minute now. And I was on that crazy train. I was convinced we were going to get disclosure. We were finally going to get to know the truth about those aliens, bro. And you got to remember, I've been following this stuff since I was a kid, and this kind of cycles back around. Every once in a while, it cycles around, and people think we're going to get disclosure. We're going to get the goods. And it just seems like it never comes. It's always you know, some tantalizing pointers that something like that may happen soon. And then, inevitably, what happens? Nothing. A big nothing burger. That's what happens. We don't get disclosure. We don't get any kind of real disclosure. What we get is idiots like Corey Good running around claiming that he's going to bring about disclosure. And all that guy has done in 5 years so far is line his pockets with money and not worked a real job. Friends, if he had the goods, wouldn't he have spilled those goods in 5 years' time? He's got nothing. Fairy tales and nonsense. That's what he has. Fairy tales and nonsense are not going to bring about disclosure. It's just not going to happen. And, honestly, when I think about this stuff, I get kind of sad because there was a time when I believed that it would happen. And no. If all these people are wrong and there's no UFO alien disclosure in the New York Times or from Trump, I'm going to laugh so hard. Well, Super V Fun Cat, you should get ready, man. You should get ready to be laughing because I truly doubt that we're going to hear anything of substance. Pardon me for being distracted. Now I'm moving beers around. I don't want to lose the beers in the middle of my fireside chat here. So, yeah, I totally lost the lighter somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, it's not the lighter I was looking for, but it's here. Oh, and it works. Yes. Good. So, I don't believe that any kind of disclosure is coming anytime soon. And I just wanted to comment on yesterday's show. I got a lot of positive feedback for having the balls to stand up to these MUFON clowns. And here's the deal. I'm not a MUFON member. And further, I have no fear of them banning me from their conferences, not hiring me to lecture at one of their conferences, not letting me hawk my books and shit at one of their I have no horse in that race. These other guys, and I would include some big names in there. Do you think Linda Moulton Howe, Richard Dolan, Grant Cameron, let's see, who else can I think of? I don't know, Don Schmidt, John Greenwald, Michael Schratt, all these people that do UFO conferences, do you think that they're going to stand up to MUFON and tell MUFON what assholes they are? No, that's never going to happen because they have to think with their pocketbooks. I'd like to tell them they're assholes, but then I might lose a gig, and those are some pretty high-paying gigs from what I hear. So, of course, they are going to play the game. They're going to keep their mouth shut and try to play nice with MUFON so they get booked again. Never heard of a nothing burger. Sounds tasty. No, it's a nothing burger for a reason there, BGs. Disclosures already happened functionally, but we'll never get full 10-4. People know we aren't alone. The government's never going to have a here's the real deal info on this. The half loaf works. Yeah, you might be right. I truly believe that, like, most people will say we're not alone in the universe. The last comment is on fire, and so are you. Check your fire. No, no, fire's fine. It's behind me. I'm not on fire. I'm next to a fire, but no, I'm not on fire. Yeah, so I don't think I I think that I've studied UFOs my entire life. Saw something when I was a child in the forest, changed my life, made me intensely curious about what these things could be. I looked into every UFO story, every rabbit hole. I read every book I could find, watched every documentary I could find, and I'm left still with more questions than answers. There's just there's no definitive real proof that we're being visited by aliens. Now, that's my view, that's my opinion. Other people may disagree with me, but generally, I say it's okay to disagree as long as you realize, it's not as if I dismissed the phenomenon out of hand and said, there's nothing to this, it's not aliens. I looked at everything, I saw everything, I read everything. I don't know what other research that I could do to try to make that determination. I'm sure maybe there'll be new books that I haven't read that come out, in the next few years. Maybe I'll read those as well. I probably will. But I'm left thoroughly unconvinced that we are being visited by alien spacecraft or alien visitors. Would I like us to be? Probably. I mean, I think one of the things that fascinates me so much about the subject of aliens and UFOs and possible visitation by alien beings is there's some kind of comfort in that, right? There's some kind of comfort in the thought experiment, even that we are not alone in the universe. Maybe that brings people some kind of comfort. I'm not quite sure. Hold their feet to the fire, no one else will. Yeah, I agree with you, Pix. These people all have they all have a reason, right? There's a reason that they can't speak up. There's a reason that they can't say what they really think. And I understand because financial matters are important, and these people aren't able to say what they really think because they're going to lose money. I have no money to lose from MUFON. First of all, I already made according to them, let me be very clear. According to some members of MUFON, I made very inaccurate and disparaging comments about their organization some time ago. But I stand by my statements because the statements that I made were factually correct, and I have proof and backup that the statements that I made about their organization were 100% spot on, factually correct. So I'm not going to apologize for making factually correct statements about their shit show of an organization. And secondly, this organization are idiots. They're idiots. And here's why. I think it was Super V Funcat sent me a tweet, and I think it was Ryan Sprague from, I think he's like some kind of, Ryan Sprague's got some kind of a podcast in the skies or something like that. I listened to it a few times, can't recall but he's well-known podcaster, blogger about UFOs. And he looked into the person. So Jan Harzan was their executive director. He got arrested for trying to solicit sex with what he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Turned out to be a detective. He showed up to perform sex acts with what he thought was a 13-year-old girl. They arrested him. By the way, I believe they arrested him in a MUFON field investigator shirt, which is funny. But so MUFON removes him as the executive director, and they replace him with a guy whose business is taking people up in airplanes so that they could fuck, and now we're in the Mile High Club. That's the new executive director. His name escapes me. It's really unimportant. So they've already got an optics problem. They just had their executive director popped for trying to solicit sex from an underage 13-year-old girl. They remove him and they replace him with a guy whose business it is to fly people up in airplanes so they could fuck. This organization deserves the shitstorm of publicity that they're getting and will continue to get when they make stupid decisions like this, or when they make stupid decisions like not making a state MUFON director step down after he makes incredibly racist statements. Or another high-ranking official who made that statement about I'd pick cotton if these BLM people would stop their racist nonsense. Like, that's a pretty racist comment. That guy didn't get forced to step down. I believe the state director, John Ventry, did eventually when public opinion forced them to. Rest in peace. Yeah, Super V Funkat's been saying that. Rest in peace, MUFON. Yeah, they've been around since, I think 1969. What a banging business model. Jeanette Krasenko, that is the comment of the night. What a banging business model. Yeah, absolutely. BG's. William Pixley. This is clown shoes. Yeah. Oh, there's Natasha Nix. They need to disband and give John Greenwald all their files. I would be for that. In fact, if they chose to do that, I would donate a substantial, well, actually, I can't say this right now. Under normal financial circumstances, I would say that if they would agree to do that, I would donate to John Greenwald a substantial, sizable sum of money to help him archive, scan, and put those in the black vault, or, just to help John Greenwald take over that storehouse of information, because I'm sure he would do a great job at it, much better than they've been doing. Blow out of mind. Jeanette for the win. Yeah, Mario Heat. Rest in peace, MUFON. Or PUFON. And that equals the pedo UFO network. Yeah. Listen, I would not be surprised if there's more busts in MUFON's future. I would not be surprised. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. And hey, Natasha Nix from Mysterious Forces Live. See that? We're getting celebrities in our live chat now. Natasha Nix does a show called Mysterious Forces Live. If you haven't checked it out, just Google it, search for it. It's a good time. I haven't been keeping up with your shows, Natasha, but I'm going to check them out soon. I'm catching up with you. Let's see. Dark Journalist, CW Channer. I haven't really been keeping up with Stina and a few others. I try to make it every Thursday to the Paranormal Hood live chat, and I just missed that earlier because we were driving here and got kind of a late start getting here to the cabin, so didn't make the Paranormal Hood chat. But those are all shows that everybody should check out and support if you like this kind of content. They all do an excellent job at covering these strange subjects. Don't forget to hit live chat. I just did, and now I'm seeing more comments. Yeah, sometimes it seems like it gets stuck or something, right? I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that this is even working here. Yeah. But I thought it would be fun, too, to do a show at midnight, kind of like the midnight. So what we're getting, people keep saying, when are you going to do your podcast again? When are you going to bring back the Midnight Hour show? Well, here you go. It's the Midnight Hour show on Truthseekers. So anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions, comments for me, I am an open book. You can ask me anything. I'm rebooting my channel. Yeah, I haven't checked in on you in a while, so I didn't know that. But I definitely understand that, Natasha, because I just went through this whole reboot process and started a brand new YouTube channel just for this show, which may or may not have been a good idea. what's funny is I started my other channel like in 2006 or something, like really long time ago, and ha- I have very little recollection of what it takes to get to 1,000 subscribers, and now I'm finding out. But I will say this: um, yesterday, um, I don't even know offhand. I'm gonna have to check so I don't misspeak. But just give me a moment. I'm gonna check. I said I wasn't going to be watching the numbers, but I lied. Of course, I'm going to look in on the numbers once in a while because I'm stupid. Uh, yeah, basically that's it. I mean, I'm not going to look at the number of views for the show, but I can't help but continuing to look at the subscriber count. And yeah, okay. So yesterday, before the MUFON show, before the show covering the MUFON event, I was at 240 subscribers. And now I'm at 268 subscribers. And friends, I got to believe those people subbed because I was being honest and sincere and taking these assholes to task. And nobody in UFOville, I don't want to say nobody, some people are, but most people in UFOville, including all of these big names in ufology, aren't saying shit. Or they're being very careful with what they say. And, listen, the universe rewards you for honesty. I truly believe that. So, yesterday, I told the truth. I told a pretty good story of this asshole getting popped. And I said what I really thought. And I think people responded to that because that's the biggest single day jump in the subscriber count that we've seen so far since I started this channel. Like I said, I was at like 239 before that show, and now we're at 268. So that's quite a number of people that said, let me subscribe to this guy because he's honest. I believe that. That's what I believe happened. I hope that trend continues. And thank you, Out of Mind. Yes, 268. So, we still got to get to 1,000, but, here we are. Here we are. Okay, so Out of Mind says 268. That's the current sub count. And, I I'm not going to worry about the subscriber count for a little bit. And BG says, good work. I agree with you, BGs. William Pixley says, amen. And let me see. I love it outside too. Yeah, big outdoorsman here, Super V Fun Cat. And if it was up to me, I would live at this cabin. But my wife is very unconvinced. And there's a lot of reasons for that. First of all, the winters here, it's only 2 hours, maybe 2.5, depends on the traffic and a lot of factors, but it's only 2 hours north of our house. But the winters here, ooh, the winters here are rough, man. And it seems like the winter never ends. This year, there was freezing temperatures, and I mean, like 35, 30, until the first week in June. That's crazy. And I ran out of firewood in March, so I was out here scraping around trying to find wood to burn to keep warm inside the cabin. Everyone who does conferences is being super sympathetic for MUFON. So annoying. No one died, MUFON sympathizers. You people are just gross. Yeah, I agree with you. The Norm Ha, you hooked me on your cabin build. Yeah, and maybe listen, I'm nearing. Uh, I have to put some ceilings up in the. Geez, this is hard to describe. The original cabin was 12 by 24, and that was the whole cabin, 12 by 24, and it's kind of like a pretty decent sized bathroom, and then a kitchenette, and there's a sleeping loft and a pull out couch. So then we built on this extra room, which is just one big living room, which I love. This was all built out of logs. And then I still have to finish the ceilings and a few odds and ends in that original cabin. Me like a dummy. Instead of putting the ceilings up and finishing that cabin, I built a whole new cabin and slapped it on the side of it. So I have a few more things to do, but then I'm probably going to do like a video to show everybody the insides of the cabin because it really is beautiful. I'm super proud of it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But I knew going into this cabin thing that we were never going to have the money. We looked at a few cabins, and any decent sized cabin that was in any kind of usable shape was $50,000, $60,000, $75,000. Knew that was never going to happen for us, so I decided to just make up for lack of financial resources with time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. Turns out you can really do that. So, a couple of years of weekends slaving away on it later, and we have really, it's getting to be a big, beautiful cabin. They're huddling together like rats, don't want to lose any potential money. Yeah, I agree with you. And like I said, somebody like me is very dangerous for these people because we have, I have nothing to lose. So I can say what I think and, and be honest with my viewers. So sorry that so many other people can't. Brad Gray asked, does it snow there, Steve? Oh, yeah. And we have snow here at least 6 months out of the year. So might start snowing initially the end of October, early November, and it doesn't really stop. This year it stopped about the middle of May was the last snow. So that's, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 6 or 7 months we have snow on the ground here. And really bitter cold temperatures. I think this winter, my neighbor was telling me how happy he was that the winters were so mild. The winter was so mild this year. And I'm like, mild? Are you kidding me? And he said, yeah, man, we barely went below zero, only a couple of times. And it was only a little bit below zero, like 5 below. But the winter before this, it was 25 below zero outside while I was here once. And my car would just not start in that kind of temperature. The fuel pump froze, so the vehicle wouldn't start. I had to call AAA, and they came out here and I don't know what the guy did. He put something under the car, maybe a little heater, I don't know. And because he told me, I think the fuel pump is frozen, 25 below zero, and eventually he got the car to start, and I was so happy because I didn't know how I was getting home. I didn't know if the car was ever going to start. I was stranded here, and that was when I still lived in Philadelphia, which was a 3-hour ride. So it snowed this June. Yeah, it can snow. Cabin looks amazing, and you should be very proud. Thank you, BGs. I'm like I said, here's another funny thing. When I started this, I had never built anything. Nothing. Never built anything. And so, my wife was pretty nervous because she was like, what do you mean? You're just going to build a cabin? You don't know how to build a cabin? And I said, yeah, and I'm going to learn. And now she's very proud of me because little by little, it really came together. And all I did was read books, watch YouTube videos, try to figure it out. Eventually you do figure it out. I was thinking of doing the same, just moved back to PA from North Carolina. I was wiped from 2 hurricanes. Give me snow anytime over hurricanes and snakes. Yeah, Norm, where are you at in Pennsylvania? Because the cabin here is in Goldsboro or in the Poconos. Most people from Pennsylvania would know where the Poconos is. So I'm right in the Pocono Mountains. It's called Goldsboro, Pennsylvania, right near Mount Pocono or Pocono Springs area. That's where I'm at. And we're way high up in the mountains here. I wish it snowed here. I've seen snow once down at the snowies. Yeah, I've never seen snow. BGs, you're not missing anything. It's cold, it's wet, it's uncomfortable. Brad Gray says it's white, BGs. You did an awesome job, and it was cool watching the progress. Yeah, the only regret I have about building the cabin is that I was going to do like a channel about building the cabin. And I did take a lot of video, but mostly I took pictures, so I didn't get to do that. Maybe for the next cabin I build, I'll be smart enough to document it a little better. Sometimes yellow. Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. Do not eat the yellow snow. Oh, you're in Western Pennsylvania. So that would be, okay, yeah, you're over towards Pittsburgh and on the other side of the state. I'm more Eastern Pennsylvania. But Norm, you're welcome to, maybe still come and visit if it's not that far a drive. I was joking that what I would like to do, I don't know if Mysterious Forces, Natasha Nix is still here. I was joking that what I would really like to do, if not for the Rona, I really think I might have tried to do it, is to get Smoke King and Paranormal Hood Jiggy from Paranormal Hood here, and maybe C.W. Channer and Kelly Farmer and Natasha Nix and a few other people, and do a free conference here where everybody could camp in the woods next to me here. We could set everybody up, and we could have a conference here called uh, Contact in the Mountains. And it would be free. You just have to get here and bring your own food. Mario Heat says, Bee Gees, I'll trade you. I'm tired of snow and gray skies. Yeah, me as well. Absolutely. Coldest it gets in Adelaide is like 1 degree. Yeah, even that's cold though, Bee Gees. Overnight. Yeah. Yeah, I had some pretty freeze. When it's 25 below, you can't be outside. Even just to go out to we have a. Gee, I don't. Oh yeah, you'll be able to see it if I push this. So the cabin's right behind me, and then there's a woodshed over here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a woodshed there that I keep all the firewood in. And when it's 25 below, friends, even going out to go grab wood is, you know, it's a nightmare. I don't like being cold. So what I generally do is if I get here and it's pretty mild, like if it's 30 or 35 above zero, then I grab a whole bunch of wood and I just put a big stack inside the cabin, pile it up, and then I don't have to go out for the rest of the weekend. And I have literally, my wife doesn't come here at all in the winter. She doesn't like it. I have literally stayed just inside the cabin from Friday night till Sunday afternoon and not going out once. So I pack up a big, this huge pile of wood. Bee Gees, yes, that would be cool. Yeah, maybe next year. William Pixley says, hell yeah, do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it next year. It's just like I got to make sure that I can at least, I have a camping trailer here that sleeps a few people, and I have this huge tent. Maybe I have to get some cots and stuff, or get some more tents that I can loan people. I probably should have some tents here. Cabin Con. Yeah, that would be fun, Bee Gees. I thought it would be fun. You can do a mirror event in NC. Yeah, that would be cool. Poconos. Doesn't Soros have a nice place there? I don't, I've never heard that. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. And I just don't know about it. I don't really know. But friends, looking for something else. Oh, here it is. I was looking for the phone, and I'm not sure that the phone is going to work. We are way high up in the mountains. Sometimes the cell reception doesn't work, but we're going to at least allow people to give it a try if they want to. So I'm going to, 1 second here, I'm going to play that open lines bumper and anybody who would like to. And while this plays, I'm going to throw a few more logs on the fire. So we're going to open the phone lines. If you want to call in to Truthseekers Live here, we are ready to hear from you. I'm going to play this following clip, which will have the phone number. You are free to call in. We'll be right back, folks. And we are back here on Truthseekers. So, yeah, I don't know how well this whole phone line thing is even going to work here or if people will be able to get through, but it is what it is. We are, roughing it here in the mountains at the Apocalypse Cabin. And it's kind of funny. I didn't know it was going to be an Apocalypse Cabin, but here we are, friends. I'm also still interested in who everyone thinks is trustworthy in this field. Well, I have guys that I like, and I have guys that I don't. I have more guys that I don't like. So, okay, let me see. Do you think that Sarah's mate Taj is infatuated with her? I bet he is single. I am not sure, but one of the questions I was going to ask, and I was too shy to, because this guy is completely and totally dedicated a large portion of his life to this girl, is are you in love with her? And I probably should have asked him that. But I thought that was a little personal and not really relevant to the discussion. So I did not ask him. Out of Mind says, smitten. And Brad Gray says, yes, I believe he is out of mind. Yeah, he could be, right? Well, here we go. 1 second, friends. Hello, this is Steven.
Hi, Steve. It's BG.
Hey, BG. How are you doing?
First call from Australia.
All right, you got it. BG's is on the line. It's so nice to talk
We
to
got
you.
some reception.
Yeah, and it's so nice to talk to you and connect a voice to, like, knowing you in the live chats and getting to know you in other live chats.
And I'm definitely female, and if my dog starts barking, I apologize.
No problem. My wife's got her little yapper in the cabin here. They're sleeping, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where in
I just
Australia?
thought I'd ring up and say hi, and I've got really nothing to say.
Yeah, that's how I feel tonight.
Sinus surgery, so
Oh,
it's been fun.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you recovering now nicely?
Yeah, I had a really bad couple of weeks, but doing much better today. I got up and mowed my lawns and trod in the fresh dog shit, so that was awesome.
That always ruins your day. And you know what? It's worse when you have like boots on or sneakers that have big tread and you got to like dig it out of the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I cleaned up all the poo last night. I thought I'll mow the lawns tomorrow morning before, paranormal hood's on, and did the deal. And I'm just like, man. And it was a freshie, when they're fresh. It wasn't set, put it that way. So it was awesome.
Well, the one good thing, though, is if you step in shit, the rest of your day's got to get better.
That's it. It can only get better from here. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I just thought I'd ring and say hello and just check to make sure the phone line works from
it's
Australia.
So nice to finally. It's so nice to finally hear the voices of some of the people like you and others that I've been in live chats with, and get to connect a voice to the avatar, right?
Exactly. I'm wearing the beanie in my avatar. I've got a Homer on my avatar on YouTube, but on Twitter, I'm in the beanie with my sister.
Okay. Awesome, BGs. Thank you for calling.
Catches.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
And there we have it. BGs. That's so funny. It's so weird. I don't know what I imagined her voice to be like, but I was kind of surprised. I like that accent, though. I'll tell you that. Pretty fires. Yes, we like pretty fires here. And I try to have one every time I'm here, every night that I'm here, but sometimes it's raining. We might get rained out here, but I don't think so. I hope we don't get rained out because I'm out here with this laptop and stuff on this little rickety table. It's amazing that this works. And BG's gets to be the first caller from Australia. Nice. Beautiful. Brad Gray says, beautiful accent. Yeah, I agree. I have a weakness for women with either Australian or English accents. and French accents. I don't know what it is. Women with those accents drive me crazy just talking to me. I always. Oh, here we go. Let's try this again. Hopefully, we'll get to it in time. That's so bizarre. Yeah, so I hear that the phone is ringing. Oh, sorry, I missed whoever was just calling. It was ringing on my PC somehow, but not on the phone, and I needed to ring on the phone in order to get you in. So I don't know why it didn't connect to the phone. Again, it's probably this wonky cell service that we have here. Being out in the mountains, that's bound to happen. But we'll leave the phone lines open. Everybody's free to try back or try to call back. Sarah Pearson, there you go. Everyone likes the British accent. Yeah, I like it too. Wish I could talk like that. Sarah, right? I'm terrible at an English accent. Yeah, this is weird. So I hear that it's ringing. There we go. Now I got you.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
1 second here.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Steven.
Steve, it's Pix.
Pix, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, because it's a little delayed here.
Okay. I was asking, where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Beautiful place. I like North Carolina.
Yeah. Lots of mountains down here.
Yeah. It's my kind of place then, because I'm a mountain guy. I love mountains, man.
I agree. I'm a mountain guy too. Hey man, I wanted to just say 2 things. One, I really want to say you're doing a great job. I like the format. I think this is freeing you up. I think it's a great crowd. And I don't know, this feels pretty good what you're doing. And that's just me speaking. I really, you deserve a lot of credit. And that's pretty much all. I'm glad that you've gotten this group together. I think it's a good group, and I think something can come from this.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think I was a little discouraged when the show started because, it was not many people and it was hard to get it started and built. But now I feel like we're getting some momentum and things are going to improve and get bigger and better. And I'm working on that. I'm working on more production, so we're going to have multiple cameras soon and some other stuff, some other surprises, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm glad that you're here and a part of it, because remember, it's Truthseekers. We're all here together, and that's what I want, a group of us.
Amen. I agree. I'm totally with what you're doing. Anyway, I sent you an email too about Doug Caddy. Check that out. And did I see that Ramsey is here tonight?
Yes.
Ramsey and I really should get together with you to talk about John D. and Kelly. I think you'll love that story.
Yeah, that sounds like something that I would be interested in. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll let you know what Caddy says, and just kind of, if you're interested in that, just ping me back on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll do it.
Man.
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, we'll do it.
Hey, keep rolling. Love you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, Pix. Bye-bye.
You too.
And there we have another person with an accent, this time Southern. It's so cool to see people from all over the world getting together and, talking about this weird subjects and spending some time together. And yeah, it's just fun. Spudwife says, I'm around the corner in Georgia. Nice. I didn't know that's where you're from. You kind of, I didn't know that you strike me as like a Southern woman, Spudwife. But yeah, with those fiery Twitter posts, maybe, not like a Southern belle though, like a little Southern firecracker girl. And Mario Heat says, Blue Avian accent is the sexiest, by the way. I'm not sure that I agree with you. And we have, I think, a new person in the live chat, Prag Magic. I'm not sure that I have seen you here before. If you like, the kind of subjects that we cover here, the strange, the mysterious, the paranormal, the UFOs, the cryptid creatures, all that kind of stuff, conspiracies, please do subscribe to the channel. We'd like to see you back here. It looks like you know some of the people in the live chat. You're calling out to Bee Gees and to Out of Mind. It's nice to see new people here. And Bunya, again, maybe somebody that I have not seen here before. Welcome, Bunya. Again, if you like this kind of content, please do subscribe to the channel. Pix is right. Like, this new format is really freeing for me because before I spent all my time on stupid things like editing, and I couldn't produce a lot of shows because I just spent such an incredible amount of time editing. And now we have a good format. We just go do the show, and then the show's done when it's done, and there is no editing. And I gotta say, it's taken me a little time to be okay with that. That whole warts and all. Some things aren't going to be right. Some things are going to sound bad or, look not perfect. This is just the way of the world. The world we live in is not perfect. So this tendency to super produce things that I once had, I think it came from being a studio person and, a music producer. You just keep working on it forever. Whatever it is you're working on, just pour more work and more work and more work. And that's kind of what I did on the radio. Mario Heat says, "You're lame, Camby, and nothing compares to an intergalactic being whispering sweet nothings in your ear." Well, I might have just had that. It depends on who you ask, in the form of the strange case of Sarah Adams. And I got to tell you, it was kind of nice having her whispering sweet nothings in my ear. I'll subscribe if you subscribe. You got a deal, Pragmagic. I will actually hold on. Let me see if I can do it right now so that I don't want to say I'm going to do it and then not be able to do it or not do it. So let me get to the live chat here real quick so that I'm going to subscribe to your channel right now, Pragmagic, because if it's about magic especially, that's probably something that I'm interested in and would not mind. Oh, 1 second. All right, Pragmagic. So I've gone over to YouTube. Or you know what, Pragmagic? Here's what I'm going to do. I am making you a moderator in the chat. And now that you are a moderator, it says Pragmagic is now a moderator for your channel. Now that you're a moderator, you can put your link to your YouTube channel in the live chat. And once you've done that, I will go there and subscribe to your channel. Pragmagic says, "Oh snap, Shazam, I think I'm going to like this person." Appreciate it. Yeah. I like the cool planchette avatar that Pragmagic has. Yeah, I like that as well. He says, "Oh snap, Shazam." Oh, Spudwife, where's my damn wrench already? Okay, Spudwife, hold on 1 second. Yes, you definitely get Spudwife definitely gets a damn wrench. And there you go, Spudwife. You now have a wrench. Congratulations. There you are. Ooh. I'm going to get back to StreamYard here. 1 second. There we go. I live in Prague almost 7 years. William Pixley, I didn't know that you lived in Prague that long. What was that, for the military? We seem to be on the level. Unbelievable city. Yes, BG's asking you shall receive. Okay. There is, yeah, that probably works. Hold on, let me check it in the live chat. Yeah, there we go. It's taking me to your channel. Pragmagic. And I have subscribed to your channel, Pragmagic. So I will trade you sub for sub. I have subscribed to your channel. You should do the same for me. I'm happy to help another person trying to get a channel going. Super V Funcat says, I didn't know you had a channel. Well, now you know. Longtime podcast, tons of interviews, music and magic. Sounds like my kind of thing, Pragmagic, so I will definitely check it out. Yeah, and Pragmagic says ditto. Yeah, it's rough trying to start this stuff and get things going, and but it's definitely worth the time and the energy to build something important that you believe in, especially if it's something that is important to you that you believe in. I want to visit Prague so much. I want to make a pilgrimage to the Holy Infant. Yeah, you never know, right? Is Prague? What is it in Prague, Reemsey, that you want to visit? The Holy Infant. Is that like a Christian cathedral that has like a statue of baby Jesus or something that's famous that I'm not aware of? No, it's quite all right, Pragmagic. I don't mind anybody advertising their stuff in my live chat. Other people get upset, or no, I'm okay with that. Um, I'm just one to think that you know, uh, whatever somebody else is doing is not detracting from what I'm doing in any way, shape, or form. So I don't mind that. Others maybe do. Norm Ha is putting up, what is this? A Facebook group. The Golem was in Prague. Rabbi Lou. I just saw a pretty modern version of the Golem story, and I wish I could remember the name of the film because it was a pretty good film. This woman's son died, and then she created a golem that somehow took the form of a young boy, and it was a pretty creepy movie. I'll leave it at that. Got to go to work. Take care, peeps. Peace out, Mario. It's good to see you here. Infinite Prague is like one of the Chinese cats that wave at you and bring luck, only it is a baby Jesus. Okay. I've never heard of that. Now I got to look that up. See what this baby of Prague is. I'll catch the replay later. Good, good. Lots of mystery. Heart of Rosicrucianism. I can never say that right. Rosicrucianism. Dee Dee and Kelly ever have the Von Icht manuscript? Not sure, Bunya. Yeah, have a great night at work, Jeanette says. Everybody's saying later, Mario. Town I grew up in, seen the exact same thing 30 years ago, Bridgeville. It's about 9 hours from you. Well, that's a good ride. They gave it to Emperor Rudolph. Okay. Well, friends, I'm out of non-alcoholic beverage to drink, so you'll forgive me. This is my vacation, so I'm not going to feel, a weird way about drinking during the show, which is something that I generally don't do. Or I wait till I'm sure we're almost done before I do that, because I'm always afraid that I'm going to start drinking on one of those shows where I'm like ranting and yelling and screaming about somebody, and it's going to get crazy. So, Steve C. Hi, Stephen. I'm currently in the middle of the bush here in Australia, miles from the nearest island, phone reception, and I am enjoying the show. Steve C., that's so awesome because I'm here in the middle of the mountains at my cabin. We just got internet installed a few weeks ago. It's amazing that we are able to connect a world away, and you are right here with us, Steve C. We live in an amazing world. We truly do, friends. decipher the voynich. Oh, what's going on? I just joined. Kimberly, oh, is that Jeanette? Yeah, this is Jeanette, right? Nothing's going on. We have open phone lines tonight. Jeanette Kimberly Jones. Did you get another husband, Jeanette? You can write another reply. You're making Facebook comments. I believe I know who this is, which is a girl that I grew up with, who's always getting married. She gets married so much that they want like extra money to pay for the aisle that she's wearing out because she keeps going down it so much. Oh, it is Jeanette. It is you. How you doing, Jeanette? Yeah, so Jeanette, I don't know if you ever watched my other shows. Generally, we talk about weird, strange stories like, Bigfoot stories, UFO stories. We just did a show on the Dybbuk box, and we talk about demons in that show. Generally, we talk about really weird stuff on my show. But tonight, I'm here at the cabin, and we're just doing an open chat, a fireside chat. We have the phone lines open if anybody wants to call in. And this is a more laid back show without a real subject. So that's what's going on. It is good to see you watching. I grew up with her. She was like my brother's girlfriend for a long time when we were kids. And yeah, and then she got married like 19 times. I don't know. Jeanette, you knew that already. That did you really get married again? Your name doesn't sound familiar to me, but maybe I haven't seen you on Facebook in a while. Jeanette Kimberly Jones? I thought it was you had a different last name last time that I talked to you. I thought. I don't know. It's so funny that a lot of people that I know from Facebook, you have people from your past and people you haven't talked to in a while. So streaming the show also on Facebook has brought a lot of people that I haven't talked to in a while to the show or the live chat and discussion. Just up in Cary. Jeanette, a gal after my own heart. Yeah, she's a good person. We had a lot of fun when we were kids. Her, me, my brother, we all went to this beach, this lake that we all hung out at, and that's where my brother kind of met her, or I met her. I don't remember who met her first, but she ended up being my brother's girlfriend for a while. I don't know what happened with that. I guess she decided she'd rather marry 7 different dudes than my brother. I don't know what happened. You're an ass, but yes, 4. Did you get married again? So she's been married 4 times. Jesus Christ, Jeanette, how many husbands are you going to wear out? You wear out more husbands than you. She wears out husbands quicker than I wear out shoes. Like every time I don't talk to her for a while, and then I do talk to her, she's got a new husband. Was Klingerman. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Jeanette, you got married again? She's been married 4 times, friends. That's a lot of husbands. Oh, and it feels like it's starting to rain here, folks, so we may have to cut this a little short. Dank Alliance. I don't need a copy. Looked at every page. 2-day workshop. I'm a little lost here. Yeah, friends, if you have a comment for me, Norm Haas laughing probably at Jeanette, who's got a new husband again. Your brother and I would kill each other over Joseph's daddy. It's so, your son's dad was the last husband, right? And that guy's gone now, and you got another new one? Jesus Christ, how many husbands are you going to have, girl? You need to calm down. Stick with one dude. It's funny. I'm telling you, friends, every time I don't talk to her for a while, and then I see her or talk to her, she's got another one. She just keeps going on. She says I tire them out. Yeah, that I could see. I could definitely see that. Fire is almost out. Yeah, maybe Friends, just give me a moment. I'm going to go grab a couple of logs to throw on the fire and shuffle it out for a bit. Just bear with me. I hate dead air time, but I don't really have a choice. So I'll be right back. There we go. You can hear maybe the wind is kicking up, and I think a storm is coming our way. So it is what it is. If I suddenly have to end the stream, you guys will understand why, because I'm sitting out here with a laptop, and that would be probably not a good thing for the laptop. So I'm going to turn my attention to the live chat. If you have any questions, comments for me, please put them in all caps. What's the email? Jeanette, is that for me? William Pixley. And Jeanette says, thanks. Jeanette says, I love the fire. Yeah, I have here a end table. I don't know what to call that. It's like a fireplace table. I don't know. And it runs off of gas. And then behind me here is the campfire, which is not doing great right now. It'll fire back up once those logs I throw on start catching. And yeah, this is probably my favorite place in the universe. At the campfire at the cabin. Now we're going to get a bunch of smoke. Pragmatic. All questions for Stephen in caps he requested. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a metaphysical practice? No, not really. I mean, if you're asking about religion, I'm a Christian and a Buddhist. And yes, you can be both. I like to say that being a Buddhist made me a better Christian, and being a Christian made me a better Buddhist. You look like you dig Love and Rockets. Not a huge fan, but I know Love and Rockets. Yeah, I like Love and Rockets. Me too. Okay. You see, propane blows the fire. Great. Yeah, it'll. Well, this thing over here is like it's like a round table, and you put a gas cylinder in the bottom of it, and that just makes fire. So really, though, that's for like people that. Well, I'm getting smoked out here. That's for like people that live in the city, right? Who can't have a campfire. I guess would be like the better use for that. But somebody gave it to me. I think my mother-in-law actually gave it to me. And we put it here at the cabin, and we like it when we have a fire because generally that thing will sit next to you, though, while you're at the campfire and you put your beer down around it. It's got a huge metal, decorative kind of wrought iron, I guess. I don't know. It's got some kind of metal edge all around it, this big round thing, and you put your beer down. It's a beer stand. You got to have a beer stand. Spooky smoke. Sure. Interesting. It's a form of tosher. I don't know what tosher is. We have no idea what Jesus did from 13 to 33. He went to Tibet. A lot of people believe that. Actually, I know even some learned theologians I know a very, very educated, I think he's got a master's degree or even a doctorate in theology, and he believes that Jesus went to uh, somewhere in, somewhere in Asia and learned about Buddhism, because so much of Christianity and Buddhism seem to mesh so well together. And of course, Buddha came before Jesus in the chronological timeline. It's well within the realm of possibility that Jesus went and learned either Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy from someone in Asia before he started his ministry. You need a hammock. Spudwife, I have a hammock. I'll take a picture and send it to you on Twitter tomorrow. The hammock is over there. I built my kids sort of a hillbilly playground by nailing boards between trees and hanging all these swings, and I lay on the hammock while I watch them at the playground. So, oh, and Jeanette is still here. She's watching. We have this. We have a camping trailer next to the cabin, and you're welcome to come with, I guess, would be your fifth husband. I don't know. I I lost track of how many husbands this poor girl had, but yeah. And if you didn't know, Jeanette, we moved to Warminster, Pennsylvania from Philadelphia. We sold that house that you were at last, that big house in the city and the studio next door, and we got a big house in the suburbs in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Cool shit. Yeah. My outdoor fire burns alcohol. I've seen those, Reemsy. I have never. I don't know what that's about, though. I have a friend that has one on his porch, and it's like it lines the cement wall of his porch through the whole porch, and he lights that up, and they sit there on the porch. It looked pretty cool to me. Maybe I'll look into one of those. Cool shit. Torchia air. Yep. And French word. The foundations, anyway. Yeah, Magic. I believe that there may be something to that. Know anything about Mani or Zoroaster? I did study Zoroaster. I can't ever say that either. Zoroaster. In Catholic school, we had to study Rosicrucian. Those two things I can't say. Zoroastrianism, how do you say that? Somebody put that in the live chat. Zoroasterism, maybe. And Rosicrucianism, we had to study in Catholic school. So, yeah. Explain to us the similarities between Buddhism and Christianity. Well, just the general philosophy of karma. Judge not lest ye be judged. Treat your neighbor as yourself. And a lot of Christianity, there is a focus actually on, in Buddhism, on detachment from the self, that we're all connected. And in Christianity, there's very similar philosophies because, treat your neighbor as yourself. I could think of some other examples, I guess. The general principle of karma, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is karma, or the principle of karma from Buddhism applies very closely the same way Christians say, treat your neighbor as yourself, or do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Buddhists say, the same thing. Karma, treat others how you would wish them to treat you. The difference really is that Buddhism leaves out a lot of worship of divine deity. Buddhism is centered around the self and meditation and improving the self, destroying the ego, learning to let go of attachment. The principle of impermanence in Buddhism is in line with the principle of mortality in Christianity as well. I mean, there's 100 examples, I would say, as to why Christianity and Buddhism are very similar. The main difference, I would say, is that Christians really focus on a worship of a divine entity or deity, and Buddhists most Buddhists that I know that are just Buddhists are really either atheistic or maybe they believe in some of the Buddhist traditional deities that are higher than man, but they don't really worship them. So that's the deal. Oh, so William Pixley says both important links between East and the West. Yeah, maybe. Still on 4. I don't know what that means, Jeanette. What do you mean still on 4? Ahura. Oh, wow. I'm way behind here. Kimberly says, or Jeanette says, congratulations. I think she means I'm moving out of the city. Yeah, that shithole city I don't miss. Nice to meet you. My name is Keats, by the way. Yeah, Pragmagic. Good to see you here. It's nice to see new people in the chat, and it's nice to get new subscribers. And yeah, Jeanette, go. Somebody, oh no, I have to do it on Facebook. Jeanette, I'll send you the link to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to build up the YouTube subscriber numbers. Compassion, yeah, Pragmagic. Compassion is another thing that is very similar in both Buddhism and Christianity. And what's one conspiracy you 100% believe? Oh, man. I 100%, or one conspiracy, I would say 9/11 conspiracy and Building 3 especially. There's no way that building just, no, people forget, no plane hit Building 3. And somehow just a common office fire is supposed to have made that building fall down. I don't believe that, not one bit. And if you really want to get into history, the Gulf of Tonkin is one of my favorite conspiracies. That was a conspiracy theory at one point. Later, the government admitted it. Originally got into, that's how you say it, Zoroastrianism. I was struggling to say that earlier, Super V Funcat. So thank you for writing it, because somehow when you wrote it, now I can say it. Zoroastrianism, I had to study in Catholic school. I originally, Super V Funcat says she originally got into Zoroastrianism because of Freddie Mercury. Yes, Freddie Mercury was a big believer and follower and had an intense interest in Zoroastrianism, which is interesting because he was Indian. It's sad because it can only be practiced by descendants. All right, I'll be listening. Buddhism seems friendlier than Christianity. Yes, I agree with you. And also, no Buddhist ever told me I wasn't also allowed to be a Christian. But many Christians have told me that I'm not allowed to be a Christian and a Buddhist at the same time. To which I say, okay, if you say so. But I don't believe that. I truly don't believe that. I believe that the two, like I said, it's a hard thing to argue with somebody who can say this with passion and confidence, and that is this: being a Christian made me a better Buddhist, and being a Buddhist made me a better Christian. And prayer, having all the tools in your spiritual toolbox. I have meditation, and I also have prayer. I still, even though I'm no longer Catholic, I consider myself just a non-denominational Christian. No longer Catholic, though, I still do things like rosary once in a while. Having all the tools. As Spud wife, I was raised Catholic. Phew, that was tough. Yeah, I had 10 years of it. 10 years of Catholic brainwashing was enough for me. That wouldn't be hard. Ream C, Spud wife. Any property up for sale up there, 3 to 5 acres, going to be in Bucks County next month? I don't know. You want just bare land? I haven't seen much bare land around. Most things have a house on them, and I don't know where I am. The average house is probably, boy, $350,000 to $400,000, and if you're lucky, you get a quarter acre, not 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 acres. Everything's really sectioned off in Bucks County. It's really like the property values are really really high in Bucks County. Married 4 times, still Joseph's dad. Send me the link. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't know if I'm not sure though, Jeanette. I think you blocked me or something because I was making fun of you for having 10 husbands once. Or I make sure that I'm not blocked or something. Make sure that you're my friend on Facebook, and I'll send you that link. Otherwise, you can go to my Facebook, and it's a public. I have a public Facebook, so even if you're not my friend, I'll post the show link. Yeah, Vanessa, but she's in. Oh, actually, Vanessa, yeah, you can get it right from the Facebook video there, Jeanette. Vanessa helped you out. That's Super V Fun Cat, and that's the link to my YouTube page, and there you can subscribe, Jeanette. And you should probably watch when we actually do a regular show with the subject. This is really laid back. It's not what we usually do here, but I'm just hanging out at the cabin, and I thought I would check in with my audience and friends. And yes, the Gulf of Tonkin is one of those conspiracy theories that was later proven to be 100% true. So when stupid people tell me that false flags aren't real and our government wouldn't do that, I tell them to go read a history book and specifically always mention the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which was our government lying to everyone in order to start a war that they wanted to start. Buddhism is less judgmental. Yes, and also I have known a few Buddhist monks who are very unjudgmental, and they may say things. They may tell you that you will do much better with meditation practice if you, for example, stop drinking alcohol, or if you stop doing any sort of drugs, including marijuana. But they will not judge you for doing those things because they realize that everyone's human. Carol Utley is here. Shout out to Carol Utley. And she's saying, hi, I was there 3 days after 9/11, also at Schwanksville, PA, Flight 93. So many questions that are unanswered. Yeah, and that's another thing. I believe that Flight 93 was shot down because look at the condition of that airplane. It didn't just crash. I believe there was some explosives involved. That's my personal belief, having looked at the evidence. I'm not an aviation expert, but something never sat right with me about that flight. And if they believe that Flight 93 was headed to the White House, do you think that even though they knew there was maybe a couple hundred U.S. citizens on that plane, they wouldn't have shot it down? Of course they would have shot it down. Dark side to Buddhism. I don't know, David. If there is, I haven't found it yet. I would like to hear about that. BBC check saying it fell before it fell. Yeah, I've seen that video. Carol Utley. May I have a wrench, Stephen? Absolutely. Let me get over there and give you a wrench, Carol Utley. Just bear with me, though. Because, oh, look, UFO Gandalf is here. Carol Utley, you get a wrench. And you are now a moderator. UFO Gandalf, you are going to get a wrench. For sure. You get a wrench. So, UFO Gandalf, you're now a moderator. Carol Utley, you are now a moderator. I think William Pixley is already, you're already a moderator. Super V's already a moderator. I don't know if Jeanette, let me check her. Yeah, she's already. So if you do not have a wrench, everybody gets a wrench. You too can be a moderator on the channel. Just let me know if you're not already and would like to be, and I will arrange that for you. I'm going to try to get caught up here because I get way behind in the chat. UFO Gandalf. Okay, any thoughts on Jimmy Church? Spudwife, let's just say that I'm trying to be kindler and gentler. And so I said a lot of nasty, here's the deal. I said a lot of nasty stuff about Jimmy Church, and that was because it was related to his handling of a couple of our favorite cosmic con artists that were on his show. And I thought that he handled it really poorly, and I thought that he, handled it the way that he did because he was being cowardly. But later, having been more fully informed of what was going on behind the scenes with him and his wife, and they have a business, and I forgive him, and I wish him the best. That's what I'll say about Jimmy Church, and I hope he forgives me for calling him whatever I called him. And it is what it is, friends. We learn, and we evolve, right? And we say, Carol Utley says, "Thank you for the wrench. My pleasure, UFO Gandalf." Yeah, so we evolve, and we grow as people. I don't think that it's. Here's the other thing that I'll say, Spudwife. A lot of people that listen to Jimmy Church watch my show, so it's really not probably in my best interest to be like nasty towards him or whatever, because that might turn off some of my potential viewers. They might say, well, I like Jimmy and I don't like you talking trash about him. I don't want to watch you anymore. Yeah, Spudwife, I wish him well and hope everything's okay. I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Jimmy fucking Church. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Reamsey, did you not get a wrench? I like his show usually. Let me check to make sure Reamsey has a wrench. She should. Reamsey should definitely have a wrench already. But let me check. No, you did not have one, so now you do. There you go, Reamsey. The rosary. Reamsey says the rosary is my favorite prayer. Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's like the repetition of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the beads in your hands become sort of meditative as you're going through the rosary. You say the one prayer, you move to the next bead. You say that prayer, you move to the next bead. But there's something about praying the rosary that I haven't gotten over, even though I say I'm no longer Catholic. I still keep a rosary, and yeah, I don't think there's any harm in any praying. I don't think God cares whether you consider yourself a Catholic or a Methodist or a Baptist. I think generally God probably thinks, I don't care how you pray as long as you do. Yeah, I like Jimmy. Don't listen much anymore. We all make mistakes. Yeah, I'm sure he could have handled some stuff better, but I could have handled some stuff better too. Bunya needs a wrench. Okay, 1 second. Let me get back over there and get Bunya a wrench. Boy, it's everybody gets a wrench night tonight. And I got to say, so far, everybody has been very good with not abusing the privilege of being a moderator or having that ability. I was a little concerned with just giving everyone one because, I thought people might start spamming the live chat. People might, yeah, there we go. So, Bunya, you got a wrench. You are now a moderator. But so far, everybody's been very good. Just, I don't care if people post links or anything like that. William Pixley commented on a previous show, the Daniel Brinkley show, and he said, "Dang, bro, I did get there too late, didn't I? Lordy, this is throwing down. Bravo, man. Yeah, we really let it out on that guy. And you know what? He fucking deserved it." So let me turn my attention back to the live chat. I got to get back to StreamYard to get these up on the screen. I'm not a fan of anyone pushing DW or CK. As long as Church doesn't have crazies on, he's almost bearable. You know what I will say, Carol? I don't generally listen to Jimmy Church. The only time I listen to him is when there's a friend of mine on his show as a guest. And when I listen to him, I can't stand the number of ads that he has. It seems like every 5 minutes he's hawking something. I understand you got to run a business, but Jesus Christ, it's just too much commercials. Everyone who comes here is nice, not mean. Yeah, so far we've had a really good crowd. Vanya, he regrets his involvement with DG and CG. Yeah. And Spud Wife, it doesn't matter what religion you are, it's a personal journey, and there are many paths to the mountain to get to the top. Spud Wife, actually, I'm glad that you reminded me. So I'm doing an experiment where I'm going to try out different religions for a week or two and then do a show on each one. And one of them is Commonwealth chanting. So I got the document from C.W. Chanter about how to be a Commonwealth chanter. And I'm going to start it. I've already started it, actually, and then we're going to do a show on it. Reemsy says, I'm usually entertained by Jimmy Church program unless I have no interest in the guest or topic. I think it is pretty good usually, but there are a lot of ads. Yeah, that if I listen, I can't be uncritical. Critical. Those he's got way too many. Loving this outside view of the cabin with the fire. Wish I was there. Well, UFO Gandalf, if you're anywhere near Pennsylvania, you are most welcome. So we've got a camping trailer next to the cabin that sleeps two with its own kitchen and bathroom. Everybody's welcome. I just tell everybody the same thing. Bring your own food. I'm not feeding you. Well, I might feed you. I'll probably feed you, but you know. Not a fan. Somebody said not a fan of Jimmy. Okay, well, you know, everybody has got their own. Yeah, me too. Dex looks amazing. Yeah, this is my favorite place. David Bucky, Commonwealth chanting works for me. I didn't know that you did that, David. So I'm just starting mine. I've got spiritual texts out, and what I chose was the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, the Quran. I just stacked up a bunch of stuff, and even the Book of Mormon. So I have the Book of Mormon. I've never read the Book of Mormon, so I have the Book of Mormon, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Quran. And I haven't decided, you know, I think I'm going to try to like read from a different one each day for 10 minutes and then do the chanting. And then I'm going to report on how I think. 95 degrees there. Ooh, it's chilly here. Jeanette Jones needs a wrench. I don't see her. Is she in the actual YouTube chat? BG says party at Steve's. Absolutely. Super V, on my way. I don't know how close you are, Super V. But yeah, I would extend that invitation to anybody. All I would ask, though, is that everybody is just, you know, going to be decent and respectful. Like, I'm afraid that I'm going to get some kind of crazy person, you know. And don't just show up. You know, you have to talk to me first and arrange it. If they ever let me into the States, I'd be there. Yeah, UFO Gandalf, you're most welcome. Promoting discourse. Yes, I agree with you, Pragmagic. It's good to promote respectful discourse. Depression is heavy. I think depression is heavy in a lot of people. I'm in the YouTube chat now. All right. Let me get over there and I'll make you a moderator. 1 second here. All right, there you go, Jeanette. You are now a moderator. You have a wrench. Use your powers wisely. Oh, I'm losing. Oh, there we go. There's something funky in the air in Oz for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of people are suffering from either depression, full-blown depression, or like just a feeling a little gray. I mean, listen, look at this shit show that we all have to live through. My business is in the shitter. Um, you know, things are really rough for a lot of people right now. And UFO Gandalf says, yeah, Bunny, it's been very much present. David Bucky, I use the term religious tech very loosely with my Commonwealth chanting. I don't know, David Bucky. Don't you think though the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, the Book of Mormon, and the Bible, those would qualify, I'm sure, as spiritual texts. And the Bhagavad Gita, man, that is a rough book to get through because you got to read it like slowly and try to understand what they're trying to convey. It's not an easy read. It's Oprah night. Yeah, it actually is. Jonathan Living Seagull, as well as the Necronomicon. Well, those are two strange mix there for sure. Bunya says he's smoked twice as much weed to stay sane lately. I do not blame you. Yeah. Everything is disrupted right now. Yes. But, Preg Magic, I've been thinking lately, and it's kind of become my mantra, like, and it usually is during tough times, and that is all this too shall pass, Can't rain all the time. This too shall pass. It has to pass. We can't continue with this level of anxiety driven madness all throughout our entire society. There has to come a time where things will level out. I believe that things should calm down, and I would like to say get back to normal, but we keep being told that this is the new normal. So, and I'm sorry, I refuse to accept that this is just the way things are going to be long term. Friends, I just heard something off in the woods. Okay. That's a little concerning because we've got bears in the area. And every once in a while, yes, I get to chase a bear out of here off of our land. I don't see. You don't see over there. I think we're good. Probably just a deer. It was something big though. It wasn't like a little, you know. And it's funny. I just had this flash of like what it might be good for ratings if a bear did come and attack me right now. Like that might get the view counts up, and you can hear that wind picking up. Oh boy. Nice crow reference. Plus, yes, will pass will be a new stream. There is no normal. Yeah, maybe you're right. Sasquatch out there. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Super V Funcat. My name is Vanessa, and I am a Common World chanter too. I didn't know that you did that, Super V. So this has a terrible effect on young kids. Yeah, Jeanette, I don't know if you know, but I had another child, so I have a 4-year-old now, and he is a very curious young man, and he's asking lots of questions, and he's very concerned about the germs outside, and we're just trying to get through it. That's all you can do is just try to get through it. Try to BG's Christ, I hope it's not Bigfoot. Yeah, me too, but it could be good for the channel. So if there is a Bigfoot, could you please come on camera so that we could get a shot of you? And that would make my channel take off for sure. Yeah, it's really rough. This stuff is rough. David Bucky is talking about the spiritual texts. He says those definitely do qualify, but I do like a lot of fictional religion, also the Cult of Cthulhu stuff. Oh, wow. Yeah, I grew up reading H.P. Lovecraft. Love that stuff. Used to terrify myself. Read that stuff late at night. If it's a Sasquatch, you'll probably smell it in the wind because they are stinky. I've heard that. I don't smell anything, so. Magic and wilderness survival camps through this pandemic. They need the woods so much right now. They need outside. Yes. Here's something that I would mention that's very important. Talk to anybody in the medical field. I'm going to see how I word this because I don't want to. Okay. The people who are suffering the most from this COVID-19, if they get it, are people that have a severe vitamin D deficiency. Take from that what you will. There's ample and supportive evidence that people with vitamin D deficiencies do not fare well if they contract this virus. So, myself, I'm spending as much time as I can outside because that's how you can, the sunlight touching your skin, the sunlight hitting your skin is what creates vitamin D naturally in your body, which is much better for you than taking supplements. But I'm also taking vitamin D supplements because having heard so many times that a vast majority I've heard of people who are suffering the most from the COVID-19 infection or dying from it are vitamin D deficient. There was also been an infectious disease expert on Joe Rogan recently who is probably responsible for why it's very difficult to get vitamin D supplements right now. She said that most people who are suffering the most or dying are severely vitamin D deficient. Oh wow, Bunya has a degree in feminist theology. I am glad my female side comes through. Yes, vitamin D is definitely supposed to be good for COVID, or good for the prevention or the battling of COVID if you should contract it. We're under the sun all day. It's our protection. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Also, people that suffer with SAD, seasonal affect disorder, suffer. Yeah, absolutely. B12 shots twice a month. You take those you get intravenous shots. Those are supposed to be much better than taking supplements, right, Carol Utley? That's what I hear. I doubled my Geritol dose when this virus started. Reeps, he's doubling up on the Geritol. Gave all my family B12 monthly. Yeah, can't hurt, right, Spudwife? And Spudwife is a nurse, so she can. Outside for a few minutes, felt like a vampire. I love B12 shots. Yeah, what does B12 really do for you, though, Spudwife? Does it give you more energy and more stamina and things like that? I've heard that it does. And that's something that I could definitely use. More energy, more stamina. I used to have this cubicle farm job where I had to sit in this little cubicle box in front of a computer, and they had like literally almost unlimited overtime, and very few people could tolerate doing this kind of computer work for more than 8 hours. So almost everybody would say no. I would load up on vitamin B. I really think that helped me. I used to take, I don't know, 3 different kind of vitamin B supplements to just keep my energy up so that I could sit in this cubicle for 16 hours a day. Yeah, being a nurse comes in useful. Yeah, you can give your family shots. Energy. Everybody's saying energy for that. Shot 1 a month for 10 years. Yeah, I don't think it could hurt for sure. Shots do hurt. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Vaccines, a terrific subject. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm definitely not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm very distrustful of vaccines. The amount that they want to give us, how they make so much money off of them. So, of course, they have a reason to be pushing them. We grew up having B12 shots by our doctor. Yes, I've heard that a lot of people get B12 shots a lot. Super V Fun Cat. It's not like a typical shot. Some people feel nothing. Yeah, I think it's very tiny, thin needle that they use for the B12 injections. I've heard that it doesn't hurt as much as a regular injection. I've always thought vaccines are good things. I'm surprised folks think they are bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that all the people that were saved from polio wouldn't consider vaccines a bad thing. It's a fantastic subject, but a dangerous one, Pix. I don't really know. Great for red blood cells, oxygenation, and energy. I haven't had a flu shot in over 10 years. I haven't had a flu shot in a few years. Oh, pardon me. And every year my wife bothers me to get one. And I probably should get them because, if everybody in our family gets a flu shot, we're much less likely for any of us to get it. But I once got a flu shot and I got probably the sickest I feel like I've ever been, other than a life threatening illness. Like 3 days after I got the flu shot, I got the worst flu of my lifetime. So ever since that experience, I'm like, I think I'll skip the flu shot, just wash my hands a lot. I took a stack of B12 when I quit alcohol. Yeah, does that help with the withdrawal symptoms or something? No, I'm not scared to talk about them. I just, I'm here. Tonight's kind of like a show. It's we're just doing this laid back fireside chat. So I'd rather things don't get too deep. And vaccines is a subject where people will have very strong opinions, and we could do it on another show. I'm doing a show about vaccines and autism, and by that I mean that I am one of those people who absolutely does not believe that there's any causal links between vaccines and autism. I have an autistic child. I've done an incredible amount of research into vaccines and autism. I do not believe that they have anything to do with autism. I'm not getting a flu shot again. Required shots for children to enter school. Yeah, I mean, I think they have to do that because look at the measles outbreaks that they've been having because of these anti-vaxxer moms that think that, vaccines are bad for their children, and then their children get measles and infect a lot of different people. Hey, Stephen and all, there is Daniel James. The context is here. So, Daniel, we're doing a fireside chat tonight, and it's just informal, laid back. We're not really, we don't really have a subject tonight or anything like that. Dopamine receptors years ago from drug extremes, been fortifying for years. Now I can finally feel B12. Okay. UFO Gandalf, I had a flu shot for 20 years with advice from my dad, who's a doctor. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know. I haven't had the flu in a long, long time. So, I don't rush out to get the flu shot every year. Pix, I'd be happy to talk to them. Email me their contact information. I'm always interested in hearing from people on that subject, either way they believe. Ended up with pneumonia. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people get sick after getting the flu shot. I don't know why that is. I got terribly ill after a flu shot. Yeah, it is a huge issue. That's why I said, with respect, Pix, tonight is supposed to be laid back and relaxing and not a big to do. And if we start getting into vaccines, it's going to get strange quick. B12 really helps with stress. I totally agree with that. Wish I was there roasting a marshmallow. I'm working. I'll roast one for you, Daniel James. If you like, I'll put it in the mail, but it might be bad by the time it gets to you in Australia over there. Yeah, okay, s'mores. Yeah, we do that. My kid, my 4-year-old Xavier, we cannot have a campfire without marshmallows and s'mores, or he gets pissed. And one time, recently, we had I think it was because of this pandemic stuff. We couldn't find, I don't know what. Oh, we couldn't find graham crackers, and he was all pissed off because he couldn't have s'mores. But we, compensated, just use cookies instead of. I don't know. Yeah, marshmallows. The weird turns pro. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, Pix, I just wanted to relax tonight, not get into anything too heavy. I have a show planned about autism and vaccines already. If anybody has any suggestions for upcoming shows, I'm all ears because we've got a show on the Japanese suicide forest coming up. We've got a show on EVPs. That's when people think they record ghosts talking on electronic mediums. We've got another show about the strange case of Sarah Adams, I'm sure, coming up. I have one planned on ARV, alien reproduction vehicle, because I have a good deal of old research that I did into that I can pull out. Uh, we have a show coming up on uh, the Cash Landrum UFO incident. Um, I'd like to do a general show on alien abductions, but I think it would be best to focus them. So we might do a Travis Walton episode, and then we might do a Betty and Barney Hill episode, and then do a general alien abduction one. Uh, I'd also like to do one on alien implants, and there is a lost sort of episode of the Midnight Hour show that had to deal with the alien interview. Not the alien autopsy, but the alien interview special, which was on Fox News, where we basically rip it apart and completely debunk it. And I have substantial supportive proof that it was all manufactured nonsense. But uh, yes, possession versus walk-in versus DID, MPD, etc. Yeah, I'd like to do a show on. I'm going to go through that Malachi's book. Uh, what is it? Hostage to the Devil. I have it on audiobook, and I keep forgetting to go listen to it a little bit each day so that I can digest all of that, and then maybe we'll do a show just as a book review on that book from Father Malachi, or is it Malachi or Malachi? Um, the book is called Hostage to the Devil, and it was written by a Roman Catholic exorcist. And I've only gotten a little ways into the book, and it is riveting, exciting, crazy book that is definitely worthy of a show. BG says a couple of times a week. It's been almost nightly. And it's been fun. Malachi Martin was a fraud. Send me the evidence that you have of that, Spudwife, or send me why you think that they were a fraud. DM me that on Twitter. I would like to see that. My last late night rant. Yeah, sure. Feel free to do that, Pragmagic. Have you been following the UFO Twitter lately? There's a lot of hype about an upcoming New York Times article that's going to blow minds. I'm skeptical, but there's a lot of people pushing it. Yeah, I have been following along with some of that, and here's what I'm going to say. Could the New York Times article be about UFO crash retrievals? Yes, it could. And that's what a lot of the speculation is, that there's a New York Times article coming out that's going to be about UFO crash retrievals. At least that's what I'm hearing, and a few people have told me. But here's the deal, Daniel James. Do I believe that they're going to present any new verifiable evidence of someone recovering debris from what is actually and truly and really and provably an alien spacecraft? No. No. And if they do, I'll eat my words. And honestly, I'd be very excited if they do provide that kind of proof. But I think this is all hype and nonsense. Remember all the hype and nonsense about that first TTSA New York Times article. Everybody after that said, "Oh, disclosure, it's coming. It's within a month or two. We're going to have full disclosure." And nothing happened. Nothing changed. TTSA is pushing years old videos that they basically stole. I don't know. I'm not hopeful. Everybody's talking about this. They're even connecting this. Jan Harzan may have been mentioned or used as a source in this groundbreaking New York Times article that's supposed to come out. So people, the government or the Men in Black did the kiddie porn stuff with him to discredit him. I don't believe any of that. Hey, I'm hopefully I'm very hopeful and optimistic that those people are right. But most of those people, if you check into the history of the things that they hype up, you will find that they talk a lot and never deliver. Even Annie Jacobson believes it's going to be about aliens. She said aliens, not UFOs. The Dolan disciples on Twitter are saying it's imminent. Yeah, well, Daniel James, put it in the live chat. What do you think? Do you think that there's going to be any real, verifiable, new information in this New York Times article, or are they going to retread something like the Corona crash or Roswell and say, oh, UFO crash retrievals, but not provide any new evidence or, you know, anything like that? Malachi pushed the chastisement. It didn't happen. He gave a time frame. Didn't happen. They will probably wheel out Bob Lazar again. Yeah, maybe they will. Yeah, and if that's their proof, then people, a lot of these UFO guys are so hopeful that this disclosure thing is going to come, and God bless them. The reality is, disclosure will remain a drip drip process. We'll never know the full story, nor should we. The questions are what we reasonably expect or demand. Yeah, maybe. Banya, I've heard a lot of stuff about Malachi Martin, and it has made me skeptical about him. The only book I have read by him was Windswept House, and didn't think it was a very good book. TTSA, CIA, NSA. Yeah, TTSA is filled with former CIA, NSA, and Black Project people. So honestly, if they had the goods, they could have already delivered them. Why the drip drip? Why the hype, the promises, the constantly trying to get investors to invest money in them? If they had anything worth investing in, I'm not a fan of TTSA. And Daniel James, no, Stephen, I think it will be something else that can be pulled apart by critics, won't be tangible. Yeah, and listen, Daniel James, you heard it here first. When this New York Times article comes out, if you want to come on my show and we'll talk about it, I would welcome you, because I know Daniel has been really, I vaguely follow this stuff on UFO Twitter that I see you're involved in, and I used to be replying to and talking to all of those same people. And eventually I came away going, they don't have the goods, and they never will. They just keep thinking, like a lot of people, that disclosure is going to happen any minute. You never get to the good stuff, though. Reemsy, we talked about this before. I still believe Bob Lazar, even though I know he's fake and made the story up. It's just a great story. Super V Fun Cat, I agree. We will never get full, honest government military disclosure. They disclose what they need to meet their agenda, nothing more. I got to say this. I would love if disclosure actually came, because all those people that made fun of you for being an alien or UFO dork and being interested in all this stuff, boy, would they feel like assholes, right? It would be a validation for a lot of people if suddenly disclosure came. Is it going to come? I don't know. Carol Utley says, smash the like button. Yeah, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I've been telling everybody this. I'm begging for subscribers so that we could get to the 1,000 sub count. So if you aren't already a subscriber, please do subscribe. Yeah, and now they are all, including Dolan, essentially calling Admiral Wilson a liar. Yeah, Super V Fun Cat, because that's the only play that they have now. They all hyped up these Admiral Wilson documents as the biggest thing that ever happened in UFOs, and this huge movement towards disclosure. And then Admiral Wilson came out and said, this is fictional. So they have no play left. As a moderator, Pragmagic says, as a moderator, I am now dutifully asking you to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for the reminder, Carol. Yeah. Dolan is calling Wilson a liar. Yeah, more or less. He's more or less saying, of course she's lying. He can't tell the truth. He's retired. He has no skin in this game. There'd be no consequences There's nothing classified in those Admiral Wilson, so-called Admiral Wilson link. There's nothing classified in there. Basically, the Admiral Wilson documents are a retelling of this guy sitting in a car talking about Admiral Wilson with Eric Davis sitting in a car talking about how Admiral Wilson tried to get to the UFO truth, but they wouldn't give it to him. What possible reason would he have to lie about that meeting if it actually happened and took place? Dolan is grasping at straws. Yeah, how else can we fully militarize space if we have no threat? Yeah, they may start saying there may be a threat from outside our world just to get the funds, right? We don't know. Wilson, of course, says the conversations never happened. Come on, he was given the talking to. Pix, you are a staunch believer, Pix. Me and you will agree to disagree. Here's the thing: there's nothing classified in those leaks. There'd be no consequences for him to say, yeah, I talked to this Eric Davis. I looked into some of this UFO stuff. I tried to get briefed on some of these projects, and I was not allowed entry or was not read into these projects. So I don't know if they're real or not. There'd be no reason for him to lie at this point, but everybody's free to believe what they want to believe. I don't believe that the Wilson leaks are anything worth getting excited over. It's more unverifiable information that is disputed by the people that are being cited as a source. If the source that you're citing says this never happened, then there's no evidentiary value to those leaks, those documents whatsoever. And hey, for all I know, they're right. That guy's lying, and the Wilson leaks are 100% factual. But even if they are, it doesn't prove anything. Still, it still doesn't prove anything. Even if that meeting went exactly as they said. What's the difference between Dolan and Wilcock? Both are talking about insiders who said some stuff that nobody can prove. Exactly. And lately, I've had sort of an awakening about these people. And I used to be a big Dolan supporter. I grew up. He was one of my heroes, He's going to help us get to the UFO truth. And everybody's got a shtick. And his shtick is that he's a serious researcher. Okay. He's still selling UFO bullshit like everybody else. Everybody's out there selling UFO stories, and they all want to make a profit, make a living. It doesn't mean they're bad people, I guess, but it does mean that maybe they're no better than some of the fairy tale hucksters like Corey Good and David Wilcock. I wonder if Whitley Strieber tells the truth. Tells the truth. I read all 6 communion books and loved them. He seems truthful enough. I don't know if the story truly happened, though. I sort of think it must have. I don't know what to think about Whitley Strieber. I've only read the first communion book, and it scared the hell out of me when I was, a teenager. I read that book. I don't know. He could be telling the truth. But even if he is telling the truth and he truly believes that those experiences that he had were real, even today, he's not sure if they were aliens or demons or ghosts. He's pretty vague on things. So you never know. Jeanette Krasenko, $20 is $20, right? Dex, why are you so prone to believe Wilson is telling the truth? The military is the key element of the cover-up. Okay. I don't know, Pix. It's just from years of study of this stuff and years of debunking most of it that I'm a little cynical. And I don't think anybody can blame me for being cynical. Yeah, he is in retirement. How could they stall his career, William Pixley? They can't. There'd be no consequences for him to say, yeah, everything in those documents happened. And yeah, I looked into some of this UFO stuff and was denied access to these projects where I would have been able to find the truth. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's crazy. So Whitley Strieber said that the Floyd murder was faked, and anybody that says something like that is an idiot. If the New York Times article says aliens are real, what do you think will happen? I don't know. I don't think that much will change. I think that we may see sort of a consciousness shift away from, well, my hope would be that when humans find out that aliens are real, that we will stop being Americans and Australians, Americans and Russians, Americans and Chinese, Americans. I would hope that we would sort of change our attitudes and realize that we're just all earthlings. And maybe, just maybe, that would be good for us as a race to put the guns down, stop warring with each other over stupid things, come together and realize that we are all earthlings. And I think a lot of divides may end, or that's my hope as to what would happen. Yes, Davis has a financial motive. Wilson has no motive. Yeah, I'm sure that the book, Eric Davis is going to sell a book or something. Yeah, Whitley Strieber's adamant that all the phenomena is interconnected, ghosts and aliens, etc. He also believes AI can harbor a soul and that all intelligence can hold a soul. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened to Whitley Strieber in a long, long time. I used to catch up. He had that, like the radio show or whatever, but I haven't kept up with him in years. The gas fire has gone out. Yeah, I guess I burned one of the cylinders out. That one was half out already, so it is what it is. I'm not going to change it now. We're okay with this. We got a nice campfire here. It's actually nice. I'm a little chilly, so it's warming me up back there. Superview Fun Cat, I need to read that book. Yeah. Yes, the context mentions that he sees things darting in front of the camera every few minutes, and those must clearly be those interdimensional spirits James Gillian talks about. Yeah, or Daniel, they could be bugs. Yeah, they could be bugs. But hey, if it'll help sell my channel, though, we'll start saying that we're having orb sightings and interdimensional beings visit my stream. Come to the live chat and see them for yourself. Whatever it takes, to increase the sub count and the view count, I'm willing to do. Exactly, the CIA runs Davis and ATIP. Yes, they do. And Davis has been involved in various three-letter agencies. It would not be a stretch to wonder if he is not intentionally putting out disinformation to muddy the waters and get people, I don't want to say idiots, get people looking into the wrong things to help hide the right things. The government has been caught time and time again purposely muddying the waters in the UFO phenomenon, and anybody that's had deep connections with any, I call them alphabet soup agencies, any CIA, DIA, NSA, Department of Defense, anybody that's got connections to those kind of agencies, I don't trust, because they all use disinformation, perception management, all kinds of things, psyops. So, it's really is a hall of mirrors with a quicksand floor when you get into this stuff. Mothmen. Yes, I want to do a show on Mothmen coming up. Cue the Twilight music. I can hear the rain. Yeah, it's picking. The wind is picking up. Well, it's not raining right now, but the wind is definitely picking up. We're going to have a storm. We're putting our info to help a military government agenda yet to be disclosed. Yeah, I believe they could be setting us up for. Yeah, I know a lot of people talked about this fake alien invasion, or at least it's my belief that the government could be maybe just hoaxing that there could be an alien threat coming to Earth, and that's why we need all these weapons in space, or other things that they could be consciously getting us ready for. But given the current climate, I don't think that most of the human species can take much more of the stress and anxiety that they've been piling on us. I have to say, I stopped watching the news at all, and I feel much better now because I was watching like NBC Nightly News. I was watching Meet the Press every week on Sunday, and really, it just depresses me. It just depresses me to listen to the news and and it builds that level of fear and anxiety gets higher in me because I start saying, "Oh man, all these states and the cases are jumping up," and even just the local news. Oh, in my state, they're rolling back the opening. So, in other words, they go, okay, you're green now, so you can open. You can open restaurants, you can open bars. And then what happened is, all this cases started spiking very badly. So then the governor came out and said, okay, you can open restaurants and bars, but only to 50% capacity. And I think a few days ago, because the cases are spiking even higher now they're saying they can be open, but only to 25% capacity. And bars can only be open and serve alcohol if someone buys a meal, which is really ridiculous. But it is what it is, though, that we're going back into a setup of being locked down again. It's this time they're kind of doing it slowly. And I think in my state, it won't be too long until we're in a full blown back to nothing's open but Walmart and supermarkets again. I don't want to see that happen, but that's what I see. Uh, that's what I see happening. And Spud Wife asks, "Is your wife nervous about going back to school?" No, actually. Uh, well, yeah, she's nervous about the children going back to school for sure. But we still don't know. It's nearing the end of July soon here, and we still don't know if our children are going back to school. They haven't told us yet. Um, and just another note, my wife was scheduled to go back to working in her office next week, and they were going to do this week on, week off. So, in other words, it's not a full reopening of the office. You would go into work for 1 week, and then the following week you would work from home. And then what they're doing is like you and the person you sit next to are on opposite teams, or the person that you're closest to in the office, I guess. So while you're in work that week, the person over here is at home working, and but um, because of the government's new mandates and the spiked cases, they went back on their original plan, and now my wife is going to continue to work at home. But because she works in payroll and has to print checks, she has to go twice a week to work. Really like a day and a half. But I'm thankful that she's not gonna be going back to work full time because I, I have these two children and it's really rough. My poor wife, she's at home, with a laptop strapped to her. She's trying to do all these complicated spreadsheets, and my children are running around, and I try to take care of them so that she can work, but they don't understand. Like, mom's home. Let's go climb on mom and mess with mom, or ask mom to make us, food, or I think they like her cooking better than mine. I'm not quite sure. But it is what it is. We find ourselves at this strange crossroad, and like I said, I just keep thinking, this too shall pass. So that's where we're at. Hopefully things improve. I have to say, I was kind of getting depressed about my, I guess, my financial condition. My business is in the shitter, and normally when my business, listen, uh, business is good sometimes, and business is terrible sometimes. And what I used to do is, okay, I'll go Uber and make up the difference. And I can't really do that. It's really, really been a rough. It's been a rough time since this quarantine stuff started. But you know, you do all I can do is try to adapt and overcome. So that's what I've been focusing on. Like, let's get over this and get to the, you know, get to better days. And so the good news is I've gotten to concentrate on the show a lot more than I would have if I was still working full time. There's no way that I would be able to do as much of the show work that I've gotten done, or even, it took a long time even to just, kind of build a set and learn the software and do all the graphics, do those, do some music for the show, do the intros, the outros. So all I can do is hopefully, uh, you know, adapt and overcome. Let's hope the whole system doesn't seize up. Don't think it can't happen. Pix, I have a lot of people that I follow that are sort of, that I follow on YouTube, especially that are like sort of off grid, um, kind of prepper guys. And it seems to me that there's a huge uptick with all of those sort of off grid, living off the land, prepper kind of people. There's really been this huge uptick in them all thinking that the worst is yet to come. I hope they're wrong, but we'll see, because, you know, we've had through this quarantine, we'd have a little bit of like food shortages and nothing major. Like, okay, you can't get, my wife was telling me there's no chicken breast. You can't get chicken breast for a few weeks. We couldn't get chicken breast. Not a huge inconvenience. So you get chicken parts or buy a whole chicken. I don't know. Uh, but if the dials of that system, what we all just went through with the quarantine, would have been turned just a little bit worse, right? Like, let's say, I don't know, more truckers would have gotten ill and been unable to deliver food to certain areas. It could have turned much, much worse. It could have been full blown, you can't buy food. So, the other concern that I have is this election coming up. I have zero confidence that either side is just going to peaceably accept the outcome. In other words, if Trump wins, I think there's going to be rioting and civil unrest, and I mean, people are talking about a civil war coming if Trump wins, because people are going to be unwilling to accept him winning. And if Trump loses, flip side of the coin, um, it may be the Trump supporters that are unwilling to accept the outcome, and people are going to claim voter fraud, and there's going to be fighting and rioting as well. So whatever side wins, I don't see the other side laying down and saying, "Okay, we accept this election result." And with everything as stressful and strange as it is right now, it's not going to take much for something major to pop off. I hope I'm wrong, but I am preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. Bunya, that's the one. Yep. They hedge their bets. Yes, they do. Steven is voting for Kanye clearly. He couldn't do a worse job than Donald Trump, okay? And listen, I really think he's an idiot. I think Kanye West is a fucking idiot. Uh, but he can't do worse. He can't. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. We're a world where Kanye West may be the best choice to lead our country. BGs, that's scary. Yeah, you never know. Like, I don't. I think that our I don't know. I'm not even going to vote. This way, I could complain, right? If I vote, then people say if you don't vote, you're part of the problem. No, I'm not part of the problem. I didn't vote this idiot into office. You people did. So I generally avoid voting. I think it's I have this attitude. It's like it's not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't want to be a part of the circus, but I would like to observe it and laugh at it. A dog turd on a plate would be a better leader than the current one. Yeah, yeah. I think that Trump is his own worst enemy. Like this thing with taking the data from the CDC. That just, the optics of that does not look good. We have a president that says all that hospital data, the data about the number of cases, the testing data, the number of deaths, all that's not going to go to the CDC, whose job it is to manage infectious diseases. They're not going to get the data anymore. It's going to go to Donald Trump. Okay, the context needs a wrench. I didn't know he didn't have one. Here, we'll get Daniel a wrench there. If I can find him here. Oh, there he is. There we go. You get a wrench. There we go. Yeah, friends, so my fire's dying out here, and I'm running out of steam. I think we're going to call it a show. Voting isn't optional here. We still elect dickheads in charge. Yeah, it's nice to see that dickhead politicians is not, Daniel, is not just an American phenomenon. Because I know English people that say the same thing. I can't believe that these dickheads are in charge of our country. It's probably universal. I think you kind of have to be a dickhead to be a politician. It comes with the territory. This election doesn't allow for folks to sit on the sidelines. Well, Pix, come on, man. Listen, here's what I'll say. I don't like Donald Trump, but I do agree with some of his, let's say, policies, like being strong on China, and because they have been ripping us off. But I think that he doesn't deliver on what he talks about. So yeah, I don't know. I think that Biden is a fucking senile old man. Like, he really has some kind of a mental problem. He can't speak. Like, the guy can't even talk. How is he going to run our country? And listen, I know they give the guys these great advisors and very educated people to help them, but still, he's an idiot. Just hell. Yeah, I'm definitely not a Trump supporter, but I'm also not a hater. One of the things I do like, that meme that you hear, like, wanting the president to fail is exactly like wanting the pilot to fail on the plane that you're flying in. I don't support him, but I hope for the best for our country and hope that he's successful at not destroying our country. Does that sound like support? I wouldn't call that support. I would call that a healthy concern. And every day that I pray that he doesn't get pissed off at somebody on Twitter and get that nuclear button out. That's the world we live in. Yeah, better not vote or you'll blame me. Don't blame me. It's not me. It's definitely not my fault. But I also can't believe the Democrats, because, listen, I followed some of the Democratic debates early on, and there was plenty of really smart, really talented people in that Democratic field that would have been a much better choice than Donald Trump. There were some very intelligent, well-spoken people, some people with good progressive ideas that weren't too far crazy left, and even Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders. And instead, the Democratic Party gives us this bumbling old man that can't even speak straight. I don't understand the Democratic Party. It's like they want to give it to him. And one of the other things I will say, Steve can take over from Jason. One of the other things I will say about, listen, here's the deal. There's all these polls that put Biden 15 points ahead. And I'll just ask everybody, do you know anybody that's excited to vote for Joe Biden? I don't see him having even near this level of support that Hillary Clinton had, and she couldn't beat Trump. So I'm not sure how he is winning all these polls, and I'm not sure I believe the polls. And I also think there is a bunch of silent majority people that won't they won't say I'm voting for Trump if you ask them, but they are. They're ashamed to say it, probably. Maybe they're kind of racist, or they're kind of like uh, just don't want to admit that they support him. I don't know. You should hate Trumper. It is not about hating him because he is destroying our country. Tulsi, yeah, I like Tulsi. Absolutely like Tulsi. Yeah, he gassed peaceful protesters to have a photo op in front of a church. Yeah, and that shows you what kind of person he is. Get those people out of the way, man. Tear gas them if you have to. I'm going to go take a picture in front of that church across the street. Folks are excited to remove the criminal administration. Yeah, well, that's the Electoral College. Oh, Cambion's fault. Yeah, let's get that trending. Actually, BG's, it's if you ask my wife, it's always my fault. That's what I'm learning about marriage. You know what else I'm learning about marriage? I've been married for 10 years, and here's what I'm learning. First of all, it's always my fault. No matter what happens, it's my fault. And number two, I don't know what it is. Lately, I've been thinking that my wife must be like a saint or a perfect individual, because lately I realized for the entire 10 years that we've been married, we've been working on me. I must be an incredibly, terribly flawed person, because my poor wife has been working on improving me for 10 years, and we've never had to improve anything about her. It's always me that needs improvement and needs work and needs to, yeah, that's marriage. Yeah, see, that's the choice. It's like the lesser. Why do we always have to choose between the lesser of two evils? Why can't we have a candidate that we actually want to be leading us, want to elect? It's just crazy. Yeah, Jason Quitt's Canadian. He can't help. Thanks, Cambion. Yeah, it's all my fault. Yeah, I remember. I remember the night that Trump was elected, and I was watching, CNN, and just expecting, okay, we're going to get Hillary Clinton, and I don't like Hillary Clinton one bit either. But I was just shocked that he kept winning states, and then like to see that turnaround, like, oh my God, he could actually win, and oh, holy shit, he won. Super V Fun Cat, yeah. Super V Fun Cat is getting mad at me on behalf of my wife. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You got to buddy up. You're women. You got to stick together. And it's the fucking man's fault. It's always the fucking man's fault, Super V. Absolutely. It's always my fault. Two-party system. Yeah, we need multiple parties. I can't imagine why. Every time somebody tries to launch a third party, though, it doesn't work. It should. We should have. I mean, it's just there's too few choices with two parties. Like I really thought that libertarianism was going to take off, but really nobody cares about libertarian candidates. Wow, friends, I just realized that we're at the 2.5 hour mark, so um, got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I like Rand Paul. Yeah, me too. Got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so uh, we're going to call it a night here. I'm glad that you could be here for something that was just sort of laid back and relaxed and informal, and we can sort of deviate from our normal course and do something a little more laid back and just sort of relaxed and not so structured. And it allowed us tonight to dedicate a lot more time to the live chat than we ever have, and just have a fun discussion. And hopefully, everybody enjoyed it as well. I am going to try and get some rest. And I'm not sure that we'll be back tomorrow night with the show. It depends on, honestly, it depends on how busy I get with my children and how much they wear me out. Tomorrow we're going to the lake and some other stuff. Um, as long as it doesn't rain, I mean, we're gonna go to the lake. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I guess I would say I'll post on Twitter later at night, like maybe after dinner time, if there is going to be a show. Um, I will let everybody know on Twitter that we're going to do that. So, friends, thank you for joining me for our first. Maybe we'll have some more fireside chats. And I have some other plan. Behind the cabin is this huge fire pit. And I've got a whole bunch of old wood crap around here and old dead logs that I pulled out and I don't know, brush, and we're going to have a bonfire. So maybe the next time we do this, there will be a bonfire behind me. And I'm going to call that one the Dark Alliance ritual or something fun like that. Well, friends, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me here for this fireside chat, hopefully the first of many here from the cabin. Until next time, folks, I'm Steve Cambion. Good night.